Think back to a time you tried to do someone a favor, a well-intentioned good deed, only to have it blow up in your face so badly you wished you'd never even bothered. In literature, that experience is known as situational irony. It's the specific term for when the result of an action is the exact opposite of what everyone expected. Mexican author G.L. Fuentes built a story around this concept that shows exactly how this mechanic functions in practice. By dissecting a letter to God, we can see how Fuentes uses a series of logical steps to build a conclusion that is as consistent as it is frustrating. We start with Lencho. He's a farmer who works his fields with his bare hands, and his livelihood depends entirely on the coming harvest. But instead of a gentle rain, he gets a massive hailstorm. Within an hour, his crop is destroyed. The trees are stripped bare, and his entire field is left white, as if covered in salt. Lencho has no savings and no insurance. In this valley, if the corn is gone, his family faces certain starvation. Driven by an absolute, literal faith, Lencho decides to ask for help from the only source he believes is left. He writes a letter to God, requesting exactly 100 pesos to re-sow his fields and survive the year. He addresses the envelope simply to God, walks into town, buys a stamp, and drops it into a mailbox. Lencho is feeding an impossible demand for divine intervention directly into a mundane human system. Inside the local post office, a clerk finds the envelope while sorting the mail. He shows it to his boss, the postmaster, and they break into hearty laughter. In all his years, the postman has never seen an address quite like this. But the postmaster quickly turns serious. He's struck by the immovable weight of the farmer's belief. He decides he can't let that kind of faith be met with silence. To keep Lencho's belief intact, the postmaster resolves to answer the letter himself. But he soon realizes that paper and ink won't be enough to satisfy the request. Lencho needs actual currency. The postmaster gives up part of his own salary and solicits donations from his employees and friends, framing it as an act of charity. Despite his efforts, he can only scrape together 70 pesos, short of the 100 requested, but still a massive human effort. He puts the cash in an envelope for Lencho and signs it with one word: God. Every element is in place for a storybook ending: the anonymous gift, the secret hero, and the expectation of overwhelming gratitude. The next Sunday, Lencho arrives at the post office to collect his mail. The postmaster watches from his office, anticipating the satisfaction of a good deed. Lencho opens the envelope and shows no surprise at all. To him, the money is exactly what he expected. But as he counts the bills, his face tightens into anger. In Lencho's world, the math is simple. He asked for 100 pesos, he received 70. Since God is incapable of making a mistake, the missing 30 pesos must have been stolen by the people handling the mail. Lencho's belief system is so rigid that it leaves no room for human charity. By attributing every positive outcome to the divine, he is forced to view the people who actually helped him as criminals. Lencho immediately marches back to the counter, grabs paper and ink, and drafts a second letter to God. He demands the rest of the money, but adds a final request: don't send it through the mail, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. The postmaster's attempt to protect the farmer's faith becomes the very thing that brands him a thief in the farmer's eyes. Lencho's faith produced the money that saved his family, but it also made it impossible for him to see the people who actually provided it. When we focus too hard on looking for miracles from above, do we ignore the human miracles down below?